Hi, I'm Spring, the fiber enthusiast. Today we're going to work up some knitted cables. We are going to do a 2x2 cable, and it will be to the front. For today's tutorial, I am using Walmart brand Sparkle acrylic yarn. It is a medium 4-weight. I will be using the recommended needle size, which is a US 8 or 5mm. You will also need 4 stitch markers and a cable hook. Move them aside. And I have long tail cast on 26 stitches. The first 3 rows I knitted. The next several rows I knitted 3 stitches, knitted across 20, then knitted the last 3 stitches. Then I turned my work over and I knitted 3 stitches, purled 20, and knitted the last 3. And I did that for 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, bringing myself to the right side facing. And now we will begin with setting up for our cables. So the first 3 stitches are going to be our border stitches. So those will always be knit on both right side and wrong side. Then I want to count over 3 stitches and place a stitch marker. So it will be 6 total stitches, 3 border, and then 3 of your pattern. So place a stitch marker. And because this is going to be a 2x2, we will need 4 stitches between our markers. So now we will add another stitch marker. And because this tutorial is based on the cables themselves, I will go ahead and add my stitch markers for my second cable. So I'm going to go from the outside in, 3 border stitches, 3 stitches for the pattern, place a stitch marker, count over 4 stitches, and place my next marker. And if you are following along with me for this part of the tutorial and you have 26 stitches, in between your cables you will have 2, 4, 6 stitches. Okay, let's begin. We are going to knit those first 6 stitches. So our 3 border stitches and 3 of the pattern. So 1, 2, 3. The next 3. Transfer our stitch marker to the next needle. And now we will begin our cable, our first cable. Slide your first 2 stitches off onto your cable hook. Now there are many ways that you can do this. You can do it without a cable hook and just transfer the stitches from needle to needle. That works fine, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I am using a cable hook. So I'm going to place the first 2 stitches onto my cable hook. Now my cable hook is about the same size as the needle I am using. Keeping the hook in front on the right side facing you of the work, you will now knit the next 2 stitches. And slide them off. Now you will place those reserved stitches that are on your cable hook back onto your left needle. And knit them. Transfer your stitch marker as you come to them. We will knit the next 6 stitches, staying in pattern. Transfer the stitch marker. Now again, we will take our cable hook, remove the first 2 stitches after the stitch marker, leaving the cable hook on the right side facing you. Knit the next 2. Place those stitches back on your left needle from your cable hook and knit them. Oops. Slide your marker and now knit the next 6 stitches. 3 in pattern and 3 border. And that is how you work a 2x2 front facing cable. Turn your work over and you will purl the back side. After knitting your first 3 stitches for your border, because they are always knit, and now we purl across, transferring your stitch markers as you come to them. Last 3 purl stitches, and then knit our last 3 border stitches. Turn your work over and knit across. Knit each and every stitch all the way across. And you will do those 2 rows on repeat for the next 4 rows. Just sliding your stitch markers as you come to them. Move the stitch markers out of the way. And you can see where we now have a twist. Okay, I have completed those 2 rows. I'm going to do 2 more and be back to do another row of cable. Okay, I've completed 4 more rows and we need to do 1 more before we can do a cable. Let's purl this row together, knitting the first 3 stitches as we have been for our border, and purling across to the last 3 stitches, transferring our stitch markers as we come to them. Some more yarn. And just as a small reminder, I am not sponsored or affiliated with any yarn companies. I bought this yarn with my own money. Almost to the end. Last 3 purl stitches, and then the last 3 knit border stitches. Turn your work over, and we will do 1 more row of cable. Knit those first 3 stitches as we did before. Knit to your first stitch marker. When you have reached your first stitch marker, go ahead and transfer it over to your right hand needle. Slide your needle up in that work a little bit so it don't fall off. Remove the first 2 stitches from your left needle to your cable hook. Slide your cable hook into those stitches and leave it on the front, the right side of your work. Knit the next 2 stitches. And place those 2 stitches back onto your left needle from your cable hook. Just like such. And now knit them. Transfer your stitch marker. knit to your next stitch marker. So knit the next 6 stitches. Transfer your stitch marker to your right needle when you come to it. Slide your work down so your stitches and marker don't fall off. Place the next 2 stitches from your left needle onto your cable hook. Slide your cable hook in, leaving it facing you on the right side of your work. Knit the next 2 stitches. Place those 2 stitches from your cable hook back onto your left needle. Knit those 2 stitches. Transfer your next stitch marker to your right needle and finish knitting across. And there you have 2x2 cables. Okay, and they are 2x2 front facing cables. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial on how to make cables 2x2 front facing. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, comment down below. In the description box, you can find all of those wonderful social media places that you can find me on, like my Facebook group, Instagram, even my email. Come on over and check us out on our Facebook group. Share your works. If you have made anything in particular that I have shown you, I'd love to see it. You can tag me on Instagram or show me in the group or even email it to me. Until next time, be blessed and be a blessing. Thanks for watching.